Boom shakalaka, something fishy is going on with Bitcoin. Today's video, we're going to take a look at exactly what it is that stinks so rotten, why Bitcoin price may go down because of it, but the long-term Bitcoin price trajectory, you definitely want to find out. Stay tuned. What's up everyone, Randall here from Crypto Love. Today's video, we are talking about Bitcoin. There's something fishy about it. It's like cognitive dissonance. Like everyone's so optimistic about Bitcoin right now, but the price is just kind of going downwards and sideways. If it was really going up, wouldn't it be going up? Because when we take a look at the price, at least the way that I see it, is a factor of sentiment because most of the price that we see is due to retail trading on exchanges, but is due to supply and demand. Now we know that Bitcoin supply is diminishing. If the demand was increasing, or at least staying the same, theoretically the price would go up, but demand likely is dropping right now. Potentially, that could be why the price is dropping. Now before we get into exactly what fishy stuff is going on with Bitcoin, make sure to like, subscribe, click the notification bell. Also come join us over on Twitter at the Crypto Love, where every week we give away one of these sweet shirts, whether the market goes up, down, sideways, left, right, down, up, right, A, B, select, start, whichever direction it goes. Also, today's episode is sponsored by DeFi Yield app, the cross-chain asset management protocol that empowers you to succeed and stay safe in DeFi. DeFi Yield has just published the ultimate DeFi Bible. The Wall Street era is over, the investor's guide to cryptocurrency and DeFi. It's no secret that decentralized finance has taken over the crypto world by storm, but do you really understand everything DeFi? The Wall Street era is over provides all of the answers to your questions about DeFi, whether you're a seasoned investor or just getting started in the space. So don't wait. Click the link in the pinned comment to get your hands on a copy of the Ultimate DeFi Testament. The Wall Street era is over, the investor's guide to DeFi, cryptocurrency, and the decentralized finance revolution. The book will be available on Amazon at an exclusive discounted price for the next 2 weeks only, so go get your copy before the price increases. Now, I made this chart a couple days ago when Bitcoin was rolling up towards, towards 40,000. And I said, hey, there's this nice wedge forming. There's also this really strong downtrend. Could potentially bring Bitcoin way down. Plus we have this giant head and shoulders right here. So a lot of not great TA for Bitcoin, looking like the price is going down. And something's just fishy because if we listen to the narrative, the popular narrative, Bitcoin's being adopted as legal tender in El Salvador. Bitcoin's going to do all this stuff. Everybody's very, very optimistic about Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies right now, and yet the price doesn't really reflect it. Something is fishy. I can't explain it other than that I was in the market at 2017, 2018, and it seems somewhat similar to what is going on right now. Everybody wants the price to really go up, but it's just not going up. And we can't just really will the price of Bitcoin up. Now, at the end of the episode, if you stay tuned, we're going to talk about something that could potentially will the price of Bitcoin up. But to begin with, something is fishy. Now, if we take a look at where Bitcoin is, hey, we're doing better than we were a year ago. Back in December of 2017, even then we're doing better than the top then. But as we can see, we've lost some steam. Now, something is fishy about this because really the top here at 65,000 was 3.25 times higher than it was previously. Is that it? It doesn't really seem like it because these orange trend lines, this is what Bitcoin has been following in for years, a decade almost, and we only made it up to about halfway up. So it's kind of fishy. But as a matter of fact, Bitcoin's probably one of the worst performing assets recently, because if we take a look at Bitcoin adjusted for inflation, this is Bitcoin USD / M1 adjusted for the inflation and M1 money, we're not even, we barely met where Bitcoin was back in July of 2019 when the price was, say $14,000. We're really just around right there. And as a matter of fact, right now, based on these rainbow spider lines, we're finding resistance at the top. As you can see, it peaked out there and then, wow, came all the way back down, resistance at the top. So this is very surprising considering that the stock market, 40% returns when on average they have 12% per year. Real estate is the biggest bubble I've ever heard of right now. But Bitcoin is underwhelmingly underperforming. And this is especially surprising considering that we have volcano laser eyes. I mean, how could we not have the price going up? And honestly, I don't really understand, but we have the IMF planning to meet with El Salvador's president, potentially discussing move to adopt Bitcoin. Now, the IMF has previously spoken out against smaller nations like the Marshall Islands recognizing a digital currency as legal tender. And potentially, the IMF may go to strong-arm El Salvador and say, hey, you can't do this. You know why? Because the IMF is owned by the Rothschilds. Now, right now, El Salvador has a Rothschild-owned central bank, but the IMF may be going there saying, hey, you can't do that. Now, why do they need Rothschild bank support? Well, they potentially don't. But if we take a look at some of the countries that don't have Rothschild central banks, these would be countries like Afghanistan, Iraq, Sudan, Libya, Cuba, North Korea, Iran. Not the most popular countries in the world. And this was back in 2000. Now there's only 3 countries: Cuba, North Korea, and Iran. Arguably the least popular countries in the world. Potentially, the IMF may be going to El Salvador to say, hey, if you want to maintain your status as not one of these countries, you might have to back off that Bitcoin thing. So we'll kind of have to see how that's going. But also, there's this story, which I think isn't getting enough press. I watched a video by Chico Crypto. You could check it out right up here. And he was talking about this. He goes a bit more in depth. The Tether Binance scandal. This is something that could potentially rock the crypto world. Just like rock it, like annihilate it, like Bitcoin to close to zero. Potentially, this could do it. This is a scandal that is fraud the size of Madoff or Enron scandal. Those were scandals that rocked the world. This could potentially rock the crypto world. So because of that, I think that arguably could be why there's something fishy. It just doesn't, things aren't adding up. So, despite all of that, you guys know that I like to leave you with a happy ending, and it's Sunday, and I don't want you to be depressed all weekend. So, because of that, Plan B still says that a $288,000 Bitcoin is still in play for this year, and Bloomberg is also championing that because of the Bitcoin halving. So if we take a look here at this chart, he says that basically, if we take a look here, it's likely that Bitcoin price is going to come back up to this black line, especially when we have the dots towards the green and the blue. They tend to come back up. He says specifically, it would really surprise me if Bitcoin would not touch the black stock-to-flow model on this line. Regardless of current volatility, yellow, green, and blue dots will be much higher than the red, orange dots. Furthermore, Mike McGlone, senior commodity strategist in Bloomberg Intelligence, has added to the upbeat mood. He says that Bitcoin favors $40,000 over $20,000. And as a matter of fact, the declining supply, the halving, is the bullish ace for the largest cryptocurrency. Now, before the last halving, which was a year and 1 month ago, 13 months ago, before that last halving, it cost roughly $6,000 to mine a Bitcoin. After that halving, it cost roughly $15,000, roughly a 3x increase. Well, that would mean that after the next halving, roughly a 3x increase would be somewhere around $45,000. So roughly, that would be kind of the bottom potentially if those things hold. But they're not the only one who's pretty optimistic. Willy Woo still optimistic, although he has lowered his 2021 Bitcoin price prediction after the crypto market reversal. Before that, he was saying, hey, we could be saying a $200,000, $300,000, $400,000, $500,000 Bitcoin by the end of the year. As of right now, he has revised his prediction downwards and now expects Bitcoin to reach $200,000 by the end of the year. So we're seeing the price prediction come down. And as a matter of fact, if we take a look at where we are right now compared with previous cycles, and this is always important. So right now we're 13 months after the halving. Now, the first halving, the cycle was completely over 13 months after the halving, this light blue dotted line, completely over. The second halving, we hadn't really even started yet. This was pre-SegWit stuff going on there. So potentially had another half of it to go. Now where we are right now, who's to say? Maybe more, maybe less. We need to get out of this Bitcoin Bermuda Triangle for sure. And there's two ways to do that. We can either go down to 25,000, we could go up to 66,000, or we could go past January of 2022. Any of those will get us out of this Bermuda Triangle formed by the peak right here back in April 2013, and then the bottom here in July of 2017, and the bottom in September 2017. You transpose those, and you got that right there. Now, what could potentially do it? Well, Bitcoin Taproot upgrade finally locked in, activation set for November. What is Bitcoin Taproot? Well, it's the first consensus change since SegWit activated in August 2017. Does that sound familiar? Yes, I was just talking about that. This right here was pre-SegWit in 2017, right around the time of SegWit. It could potentially be we have the same thing, which could lead to a big bull run coming up. Now, Taproot extends Bitcoin's script capabilities in ways that make certain things cheaper, especially more complex applications like multi-sig and layer 2 things, and somewhat more private by often hiding what the exact spending rules were. And as we can see here, Taproot locked in at block 687.285 by Slush Pool, so it is locked in. Activation set for November. Historically, October, November, December, very bullish months for Bitcoin. So that could potentially be what sparks the bull run to that $200,000 to $300,000. So guys, if you did enjoy that, make sure to like, subscribe, click the notification bell. Also, come join us over on Twitter at @TheCryptoLove. And I'll catch you later. Have a good one. Peace.